Inside the Power Home Solar Radio studio, NFL free agency for the Colts wages on, and again they have re-signed one of their own, back again in the fold, linebacker Zaire Franklin. I'm Matt Taylor with J.J. Stankevitz and Casey Valier, but the star of this interview, of course, is number 44 at linebacker, man. First off, congratulations and welcome back to the Colts.
Oh, no question, man. Definitely was a blessing. Got my career started out here. India's home, India's family. Just blessed that, we could get this done and get home, and get this season rolling.
Yeah. Was it an anxious process? I mean, how did it go for you?
I'm an overthinker. So, I'm a guy that's going to sit and think I could figure out, all right, with this formula for this, and I'm a planner. So it's tough when, you're in a situation where you don't know what's going to happen. I like to map my view out in my mind before it goes down. So, but when you could go from coast to coast, the north to south, it's just kind of crazy. But, thankfully we got it all done. It's always funny how it always works out in the end. So we got it done with Indy, and, let's ride.
Mm-hmm. How does it feel to be appreciated in this way by the organization to say, hey, the work you put in over the last 4 years, we want that to continue here in Indianapolis?
Oh, it definitely means a lot. I've always been a guy, I never really look for the validation necessarily because, the validation that I care the most about is from my teammates in the locker room. As long as I know that the guys in the locker room believe in me, they trust me, and, they're willing to lean on me in tough times, that's what means the most to me. But to have that backed by the front office and by the organization definitely just lets you know where your value is and just encourages you not only to continue to want to be the guy that you have been, but also push that further. And man, how further can I take it? How more of an impact can I be? How better can I be, for the guys in the building?
I want to go back to this past season. You had an elevated role. We saw Anthony Walker leave last year in free agency. That kind of opened up a spot at that linebacker spot for you. Talk about the 2021 season, how it you grew into another player, and I mean clearly the organization has appreciated that for sure.
Oh, no question. I think 2021 just coming into a full-time playing role for the first time in my coach career definitely kind of changed my mindset a little bit about just what can I do to really affect the game. What can I do to really help the team win, move us forward in a positive direction. And I think it just kind of forced me to, think more playmaking, honestly, and doing things that could really help my teammates and help the guys on the field on Sunday. And I think that kind of was the result of the year of just, me knowing that, all right, the team is dependent on me to make a certain amount of plays. Mm-hmm. I got to show up when it's time to show up. So it's something that, I really relish in, and, it means a lot, like I said, because, just having that trust in my teammates and the guys that we came in with. We all came in with Darius. We came in together.
Right.
Quentin, all us, we all came in together. So it means a lot to be able to, finish this run with them.
Colts linebacker Zaire Franklin is our guest. He's back with the team in NFL free agency, and I know you're in the prime of your career, but I'm a big reflection guy, and I know it's tough to do sometimes, but you're a guy that was drafted in 2018 in the seventh round, and those late picks, those are guys that are just kind of 50-50 to make a roster, and you're trying to carve out a career, and you've done that and then some. Have you had a chance to kind of think of where you started versus where you are right now, signing another contract in Indianapolis when a lot of people said, oh, this is just, a linebacker for depth, but, man, you are so much more than that?
I would definitely say, for me, it kind of hit once, right before free agency really started and just kind of starting to understand, your value throughout the league. And, I guess it's a full circle moment today, finally signing. But, man, I remember coming out of college, I didn't even get a Senior Bowl invite. I didn't get a combine invite. I watched the whole draft and got drafted in the 7th round, and I was probably going to end up coming to Indy anyway as an undrafted free agent. Y'all gave me 97 in the training camp my rookie year. I don't even know if y'all remember that.
Wait a minute.
I don't even know. No, I'm blaming everybody in the building. Everybody gets it. But it's just I remember my aunt texted me and I thought she was lying. I'm like, 97, what is that? But I ended up making it my own. And it made me work hard. It made me tough through it, and just through the ups and downs, all the highs and lows of my career, just to continue to push and persevere. It definitely, to be in this moment now is definitely just, like I said, validation of everything that I put in and all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears.
But you're still using that as motivation. Still, that chip on your shoulder is still there, even though you're getting this new deal.
No question. Like I said, this type of validation, this type of encouragement from the front office, honestly, just makes me want to push further and be like, all right, now I've got my name on the table. All right, let's see if I could take the table. Like, let me see how far I could take it. Let me see, how big of an impact I could really be.
You talked about how you came in with Darius and Braden and Naheem and those guys. You're the fifth member of that 2018 draft class to get a contract extension here. I mean, what does that class mean to you? What does that class, how close are you guys in terms of just like, building this thing here in Indianapolis, coming in all together?
Well, it definitely means a lot. Naeem, Quentin, obviously Darius. I was with Darius when I decided we was coming back. Obviously we're close, all have a relationship, but those guys, I feel like we feed off of each other. We know the type of talent that came in with our draft class. I competed against Naeem I've been competing against him for 7 years back. We played each other every year when he was at NC State. And even I played against Quentin too. And I think it's just for us to kind of have those battles as opponents, then come together as teammates, and then to see how individually in our different roles on the team, all of us just took that next step forward and kept pushing the bar. It's like competition. You want to hold your own. You want to bring your own weight to the table. And I'm just, thankful and, appreciative that I was able to match the energy of my draft classes. So.
And now that we know you're back, you head into 2022 with a new defensive coordinator in Gus Bradley. How much have you talked about, maybe with Darius and Bobby, about what this linebacker crew is going to look like under Gus Bradley, and how much have you talked with Gus?
So today was actually the first time I met with Gus. I've talked to the linebacker coach a decent amount, especially throughout the process. And, just talking to Darius and Bobby, I was actually just with Bobby last week. Just talking to them too, it was really just more about the mindset, just how we really wanted to approach it, and just like the different energy that we feel like Coach Bradley and Coach Smith brings to, the linebacker room into the defense. And, obviously, we had a great, system and success behind with Flus. And, shout out to him for getting a head job in Chicago. But I think it's just great to have that, breath of fresh air. A fresh set of eyes to kind of look at, guys who have had some success, but feel like we could take it further. Yeah. We feel like there's another step for us, and I'm looking forward to taking that step with Coach Bradley.
Zaire, we've talked about this several times over the years. Again, heading into your 5th year with the Colts, but that leadership quality that you have, how much of that do you think was in the Colts' motivation to want to bring you back? How much do you think that mattered on their end, your leadership ability to help this defense and provide leadership and stability on special teams as well?
Honestly, to be honest, I think it played a major factor.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I just think about our locker room and just the changes that's going to come, obviously that happens every year, but honestly after this year, a lot of transition and turnover coming, losing a guy like Jack, obviously we're waiting on T.Y., and just, different type of other different changes throughout the locker room. I feel like it's guys like myself, Darius, Kenny, Quentin, I know I'm missing DeForest, those guys, Grove, those guys who, the guys in the locker room, they lean on it, they depend on us when things are going right, and they looking around, they know they could look at us and know that we're going to lead the ship steady. So I definitely think it was a big thing, just, getting me back for leadership in the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to your days in high school, 2-year captain at Syracuse, multi-year captain here with the Colts. Where does that come from? Why are you such a good leader? What do you think it is about you that people gravitate towards you?
Well, I think first off, I think I just hold myself to such a high standard of accountability, and I don't think I ever ask or demand anything from somebody that I wouldn't demand for myself, that they don't see me do or hold myself to, almost every day. And then honestly, I really think of leadership as, being a servant. Is really, I think once you decide that you want to lead and you want to be the guy up front, it's really like you give up about yourself, and your whole mentality is really trying to make sure the people around you are successful, and what can you do to really touch the people that you're around every day and the people that you're working with. And I think for me, as far as leadership, is always just trying to help to get the best out of guys that are always around me, whether that's me leading by example, whether that's just an encouraging word when you need it, whether that's tough love when you need it, when nobody else is willing to give it to you. And I just think it's something I always take personal, because being a teammate is my favorite part about being in the league, playing football in general. Everybody that retires, the first thing they say, man, I missed the locker room.
Yeah.
That's what they all say. They all say, I missed the locker room. So I always just felt like, man, while I'm around my guys, like while we got this time, I'm going to take full advantage of it. And I'm going to do everything I can to push myself to that next level. But if I could pull you along as I come, I'm going to lift as I climb. So I always thought that's a big deal.
So in the 4 years since you were a 7th round pick, since you had number 97 in training camp, You've
easy now.
No, but in that
I'm still
time,
not over it.
you've established Salicia's Angels in Philadelphia, making an impact in your hometown. You've been a 2-time team captain. You become a new father. You get a contract extension. Do you ever stop and think about what you've accomplished and how incredible it's been in the 4 years here?
Man, it's actually funny. I feel like this past year and actually this past season was something I really started having to do that as well, just because I feel like in life, and especially how we live, it's always that next thing. I was just telling my fiance, I'm like, man, it's like we just had a baby. Now you think about this and then we think about that. It's always something else. It's always, and once you solve one problem, there's 3 popping up.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes you got to really sit and, and love yourself and really be appreciative for the journey that you went through. And sometimes, the business that we're in is almost like you never want to get lax, because that's when it's a competition. Everybody's trying to get in the building, but I think it's definitely a part of me that's starting to realize that you have to love and appreciate the things you went through, because it's that love and appreciation that's going to power you and propel you forward even further than you just staying tight and tense the whole time. Yeah. So I definitely have been trying to do my best to just sit and be like, man, we at least accomplished one of our goals. Going around and telling people when I train with, they're like, yeah, what year? I'm going to year 5. I'm like, I can't even. That sounds weird. That sounds crazy. But I remember being a rookie meeting guys that were in year 5. Like, man, year 5. I don't know. It's just tough. It's every year is a journey, and I'm just thankful for it all, man. So I'm just truly blessed.
I mean, the 2018 season seems like yesterday.
Bro, I swear, bro.
It really does. I mean, your rookie year, all you guys. I mean, Hines, Leonard. I mean, I feel like you guys were drafted 2 weeks ago.
I swear, bro. But so much has happened in between then and now. A lot of growing up has happened in between then and now. And it's actually kind of crazy and cool to see, guys make that transition. We went from Darius being called the worst draft pick in the draft to generational talent at linebacker.
Right.
You know what I mean? Quentin, obviously he was the greatest prospect, but then for him to stand up to all that, it's cool to see that Naeem and making him that transition, and now he's one of the best weapons in the league. Braden, we could go on and on, Ty Lue. So it's always a great feeling, and like I'm saying, I'm just happy that I could play my part.
You mentioned fatherhood. How's it going? 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in?
Yeah, I'm about 5 going on 6 weeks in, man. I love my boy, man. It's really nothing like it. He's like a battery. When I hold him, he just fills me up.
Charges you up.
I promise you, he does, man. It's truly nothing like him, and I'm so blessed. He's perfection.
What's your record on a diaper change? How fast? It's like a pit crew.
It's crazy. I'm actually more of a rhythm guy.
Are you methodical?
My son he be trying to catch me slipping a lot. So. That's what me and him is playing this little cat and mouse game of, you know what I mean? So I'm quick though. I'm way quicker than he gave me credit for. So we still figuring that out. But I'm more of a I'm when I'm up at night, I'm a hard sleeper. So when I'm up at night, I might be a little frustrated. And then it's the more frustrated I am, he just look at me, start laughing.
Yeah.
When he start laughing at you, it's like
it makes everything better.
All right, what are we talking?
Who cares? It's 2:30 in the morning. Who cares?
Who cares? I only had an hour and a half of sleep. Who cares? Whatever.
Everybody in here is a father, so you can attest to this, right? So I'm going to paint a picture. Everybody knows where I'm going.
Okay.
But when you change a diaper, you have to immediately put the new diaper or something over.
Oh, no question.
That area.
No question.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
It's
no question.
it's like I'm free. Right?
So, I had to learn that early on.
A
couple T-shirts later, I was like, you know what? I actually might have had
Exactly. On that note, hey man, awesome to have you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Always.
you, man.
Yes,
Zaire
sir.
Franklin, Colts linebacker, new dad, all around great guy, and he's back for year number 5 with the Colts.
Yes, sir.